rainbow colors for us. So we call this fiction space. And look at that planet.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Is that?
And look at that planet.
Brilliant. It looks grand to me. Tell me, mate, what's your name?
I'm Watson.
What do you think of all this? Tell me.
I'm really excited
Why?
because it's going to be our first time going around the moon in a long time.
All right, thanks, mate. Yeah, and a final word to Mum. Yeah, tell me. Hi, Lauren. What do you think of all this?
I'm just, I'm ecstatic. I think things like this really foster curiosity and continuous learning all throughout our life. And so I'm really glad we're here, and I'm just so excited to see it, and so glad we're going back to the moon and building new curiosity and excitement about science and space and physics again.
Fantastic. Thanks, Lauren. And I tell you, if young Jack fancies a career in TV, he's welcome. You fancy that, Jack? A career on television? What do you think?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Right.
Wrong. I can even guess when I broke all my bars at trunk.
Oh, okay, well, you did. Strong guy. Strong and clever.
I broke it from half to half, and guess what? So tomorrow, or maybe not tomorrow, we might be going to Kennedy Space Center with me in the car, going over there.
Fantastic.
On the other end is Kennedy Space Center with a...
Jack, yeah, go over there to infinity and beyond. There you go. It's good night from me, and it's good night from him, Mark.
James Matthews having some fun there, and why not? Because it is all very exciting. But a penny really for the thoughts of I say a penny, $1 or a dime for the thoughts of these astronauts who are making their final preparations before they become the first crew to head to the moon in more than 50 years. What is going through their minds? Huge anticipation, no doubt, huge excitement. They'll be saying their farewells to their family and friends who will have gathered there, colleagues, of course, and that will take place in the next hour or two. Thomas Moore is there. And Thomas, as we watch these pictures, just explain why it's taken so long for a crewed mission to head back to the moon.
Two answers to that. First, the Apollo mission stopped because they realised it was so expensive to get people to the moon. There was the competing political imperative of the Vietnam War, as seen by the government at the time, and the public got bored of moon missions. Why now? Well, because there is this discovery that the moon isn't as dry and barren as they thought back in the 1960s and 70s. There is actually water there. If you've got water, you can sustain a human presence, not just because it's liquid for hydration, but also with the water molecule, H2O, you can make hydrogen, rocket fuel and oxygen to breathe. So this is the idea, that you go back on a more permanent basis this time, build a moon base, explore the south pole of the moon, and perhaps even start mining at some point in the future. Highly controversial, but all this becomes possible if NASA can begin this process of getting people back. And it begins here with this practice run in the rocket and the spacecraft that will loop around the moon over a 10-day mission.
Right, and I suppose a big part of this is this space race that's underway, Thomas, and the worry that China will get there first.
Very much so, and China has been coming up on the outside. Think back, it was 2012 that President Bush said we should go back to the moon. 2012, that's a long time. And the problem is, with democracy, one president says, let's go for it, the next one comes in and cancels it because it's so expensive. But now it is happening. But all the while, China has been developing its technology. They have a rocket called Long March, and the moon-ready version will be ready for its test flight around Earth later this year, they believe, and with a capsule to follow. So they are rapidly catching up on America, and that's why they are very nervous, why there is this drive now to increase the frequency of human missions like this to get ready for going to the moon. NASA is under pressure from the White House, from politicians here in the United States. But at the same time, the chief of NASA has to balance the safety of the astronauts. And when we spoke to him yesterday, he said that the safety comes first. We're not going to put lives at risk if we can possibly control it.
Yeah, and finally for now, Thomas, just talk us through what's going to be happening with these astronauts and what more generally in preparation, what are we going to be seeing in the next few hours?
Yeah, so in about 50 minutes or so, you will see the astronauts emerge in those orange suits. And they will then say farewell to their families and then jump into the Astrovan, which will take them out to the launch pad. They then climb the tower. They go into the White Room, which is where the ground crew are waiting for them. They will take them through the process of seating them inside the capsule, making sure that they're comfortable. Then with about 3 hours to go, they will close the hatch. The astronauts are then on their own inside the rocket, and there is then this timeline of events that takes it down to zero. They will want to check that all the systems are ready to fly, and critical 10 minutes to go. That's when the automated systems really begin to take over, and that's a really... The moment there is it's called a terminal countdown, and things are very, very close. They can still stop the clock, but everything is primed and ready to go. Yeah, I mean, they could still stop the clock, but is it your view now, Thomas, that it would be a technical thing? The weather is set, is it? Yeah, I have to, like I say, Mark, there's a blanket of cloud over us at the moment, but they are still reasonably optimistic that it's going to blow out the way. I mean, fingers crossed. Just imagine for these astronauts who are having to go through what they think is their final hours here on Earth for the time being, saying goodbye to those families, and think of them too. This is really difficult, and to have to repeat it tomorrow or the day after, however many times it takes to get this rocket off the ground, it's really hard. Yeah, okay, Thomas, we'll be back with you shortly, and we hope clearly it goes smoothly and to time, and we will be covering it. Sky News will be covering that launch when it happens. Just some breaking news regarding the conflict in the Middle East.
little bit, play a card game with the chief. You can see Scott Tingle there is the dealer today. Looks like they're playing high card wins. So Victor won, he's out, now Jeremy's out. You know, there are two schools of thought on this game. Either you want to get rid of all your bad luck or go out on a high note. So it looks like the crew chose we're going out on a high note. And, you know, I think one of my favorite parts when I talked to Reid about this is he was just excited to play a game with his old boss from Naval Test Pilot School. So once again, his boss today.
Yeah, and I love this part of the tradition because this is when, again, you usually see them like, yeah, laughing, but very focused still. But when they get to this table, laughs, high fives, smiles, just really a brief moment of levity in what can be and will be a very long day for them.
Yes, you know, it's a long day. There's a lot of preparation that goes in today, and so they're just, I think, at least for us, it was a nice brief moment of some relaxation, a couple laughs, you know, a moment to take a few deep breaths and reflect on the mission ahead, and then, you know, get some high fives as well.
And so with their bad luck dispelled, some good luck from Scott Tingle, it seemed like there, right?
Yes, definitely. It's actually a really fun tradition. You know, I think that card game is more steeped in tradition than anything else. Every crew has played that same card game.
As you said, Nicole, the primary reason for why they're there to suit up, to do communications checks, to do pressure checks all done, and now it seems like Reid had some words for the team in that room.
Yeah, you know, this day can't happen without thousands of people, right? And so the suit room is a great example of that. You've got all of the suit techs, and you've got your support team there, everyone who has made this day possible. You know, they've been working with the suit team for years at this point, getting ready.
So some fist bumps to the group. Again, the suit team are the folks dressed up in those white, very snazzy outfits. Special outfits that we can talk a little bit more about later. But each crew member was assigned their own suit technician. So as you said, working very closely with the same person to make sure that the crew felt comfortable and ready in these suits as they lift off from Kennedy Space Center.
Right, and you know, each suit is slightly different, each person is slightly different, and so these suit techs know each individual super well. They know exactly how they like to get into the suit, exactly where things might get caught, or, you know, small adjustments that might need to be made, so they know their suit techs well, and their suit techs know them very well.
And so as we take a couple of pictures here, we really hope that you are learning a lot about the suits and the process of checking them out for a mission. But imagine the opportunity to get a hands-on demonstration from people who helped design these suits. Take a look.
Does anyone want to try on one of the gloves? I love showing the kids the suit. I love how excited they get about space. Oh!
So that would be...
It just goes in there? We got to bring some stuff for them to actually put their hands in, and some of them were very excited because they want to be astronauts when they grow up.
I would love to be an astronaut. That would be incredible.
I'd like to be like an engineer that like maybe designs the suits.
Whether it's the call, the orange color, every aspect has an important function for our astronauts in space.
It's going to be amazing seeing astronauts up close to the moon again.
And that was a special event at Johnson Space Center. What we just saw there, obviously a big part of why this mission is so important to NASA, really just an opportunity to inspire everyone, especially kids, right, Nicole, to dream big and be curious.
Oh man, yeah, the kids are so important, right? I love talking to kids. You know, they are the future of spaceflight. They are the Artemis generation. And, you know, if we could just inspire even one of them to go on to be a scientist or an engineer or maybe even an astronaut someday, that's a win.
And now let's turn our focus to the rocket for a little bit. Powering liftoff will be, again, NASA's Space Launch System rocket right behind us. And to learn more about SLS, let's go to Megan Carter, who's at Kennedy Space Center's Visitor Complex at an exhibit dedicated to Artemis and the future of spaceflight.
That's right, Megan. I am so excited to be over here at the Visitor Center, but not just because of launch. I get to introduce you to the moon board. This is obviously a very complex mission, lots of moving parts and pieces. So the moon board is going to allow me to break some of those things down for you just a little bit more in depth.